up, people? So the patch notes have been released, and I have read through and wrote my TLDR on the important changes in general, okay, for my builds and what are the things that affect my builds, and of course my thoughts on the different and specific changes for the next league, okay? So on a very high level scale, I can see that there is actually a lot of good changes. Okay, there's a lot of good changes, I would say, so I can foresee a really good league. But as usual, there are some things that don't make sense to me, which I will go through also. And yeah, for those of you that wants to see the TLDR, the same, it will be on my PoE notebook, just that I've created a new tab, a new section for it. Below you can see 3.20 patch notes TLDR. The reference with all the links is just over here. Okay, so reference, you if you want to read the whole thing by yourself, it's fine. I took freaking long, like nearly, I don't know, 2 hours to go through. So yeah, if you are following my builds and stuff and you just want to know the important parts, right, you don't want to waste so much time, you can just have a quick look at this. Okay, so without further ado, let's just go through this. First one, we have the new league mechanic. Oh wait, what? Oh no, that's my other screen. Ignore. Okay, so new league mechanic, Sanctum. Okay, this is the new league mechanic. From what I know, is very simple. Basically, you just go in and then you choose which path you want to go. Basically, you hover over your mouse over, and it shows you what rewards or what type of room it is. Okay, and you just click, go in, kill, clear, and I don't know, move on. And then probably the last room is like the ultimate boss, which is going to be super strong. It's more rewarding as you move on. Probably similar to all the league mechanics, right? When you go in deeper, when you go in further, you are being rewarded more, but the chances of you dying is also more. Okay, because the monster is going to be very strong. Okay, so far I like it. I like it. It looks very simple to understand. You just click, go, pick up, kill, and get out. Okay, I really don't like those mechanics where you have to sit down and think, what should you do, where to go. If I choose wrongly, I will screw up, stuff like that. I just give you an example, like last league, the Calandra, where you have to make your own tablet. Gosh, that was a freaking big hassle. Like every time you get a new options on the tablet, you need to think, what should you do, what should you take, if I go by this route, is it okay or not? And it's very problematic in my own opinion. Okay, so yeah, this is just a high level. I didn't really go through in depth. And I will suggest, guys, we just wait for Grimroll videos to be out. Okay, he always goes through the new mechanics with a very good in-depth analysis of what is the new league mechanic. And I have linked his channel over here. Be sure to support him. I think he's always very well known in new leagues, as in what the new league does, how to really fully utilize the new league mechanics, and what you should do, what you should not do. Okay, alright. So next, we have the new Ruthless mode. Basically it's just a more difficult mode. Okay, so you just treat it like the same game, but it's a very hard difficulty. I don't think I will ever venture into this mode because I just want to play my game very casually, right? Unless there's an event for this mode, then I might consider. Okay, not going to talk too much about it. New skill gems. So if you want a full list of the skill gems is here. I'm only going to go through the new ones. For the vows, I'm only going to go through one. Okay, so the first new skill gem we have is Frozen Legion. Okay, it is a strength and intelligence gem, but it's actually in red. It's actually in red. Alright. This is the full effect. So basically the spell consumes multiple cooldowns to use the summon ice statue. Sorry, before that, if you want to see the video on how it works, there's a link over here as well. So the maximum is 6. Once you have 6 on your skill gem icon, you click it, it will form many statues around you in 6, and they just basically, like, I don't know, sweep one round. Okay, Quick opinion on this. It really looks cool, okay, but it looks very slow. Because I have to wait 0.8 seconds for each count of statue, so maximum of 6 means I have to wait 4.8 seconds before I can really, fully utilize this skill to its potential. Which means every 4.8 seconds, I'm going to cast one time and it's going to be like 360 degrees attack around me, right? Otherwise, I have to point, let's say if 2.4 seconds, okay, 2.4 seconds is probably 3 statue. I have to be pointing directly in front of me to use the skill, and anything behind me will not get hit. So I am a bit skeptical about this skill. Okay, I gotta be honest, it's really very cool, but I really don't know how it would work out. And for your information, this skill is only available in Act 4. So I'm not sure if it's a really good idea to try it out. Okay, Act 4 is a bit too long. Okay, next is Volcanic Fissure. You slam the ground, there will be like a magma of wave coming out, and at the end, wherever you click, basically, you're gonna have molten balls erupting. Alright. Okay, and my thoughts over here, guys, we gotta be honest, it's just a ranged molten strike. That's all. Okay. Simple to put it, it's just a ranged molten strike with more molten balls. that's how I put it in simple words. Alright, of course it's better because it's range, right? So you can kite the monsters, you can dodge stuff easier, better than your melee. But there is no additional damage from what I can see here. So I'm not sure if it's really, really good. Okay, next we have the Cursed Ground support, okay? Basically, it supports the skills to create a Cursed Ground, and the Cursed Ground will be the supported hex on it. So let's just say I'm not sure if this works, but previously we used Vortex Hex Touch and maybe Frostbite, for example, okay? So if I were to use Frostbite, Cursed Ground, and Vortex, Cursed Ground support, and Frostbite, I think it will work the same, just that there will be a Cursed Ground on the floor, and then Frostbite will kind of affect every monsters that step on it. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, so my comment here is I really don't know what's the whole point of this skill, but when I read through the whole entire patch notes, then I kind of realized this might actually be better than Hex Touch, because Hex Touch got a nerf on it. Okay, spoiler alert. Right, next, Hex Bloom support. We really don't have much information on this, just that hexes from supporter skills are transferred to all enemies within a certain distance. Okay, and I'm not going to go through all of the Val skill gems. If you want, you can just go through the link here. I have link for you. This is all of the new skill gems, okay? But there's one I want to mention, okay? Which is Val Flicker Strike. It's a green color gem, of course. Flicker is green. So these are my thoughts, okay? At first, when I see it, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, you have to flicker 25 enemies, 25 monsters, and it doesn't deal damage, but the damage only comes after you have hit all 25 times. Right, this is a bit stupid if you were to think about it logically, because Flicker Strike hits and go, but this one hits with no damage and go, and the damage is only inflicted after that. Okay, so what's the point of having this skill when it does the same thing? Right, of course the Val Flicker Strike has more increased attack speed, but the whole purpose of the Flicker Strike is just to clear fast and go. Correct? So it kind of defeats the purpose of having this Val skill. Right? Because when you clear things very fast, Flicker is just hit and go. But the downside of the Val is you have to go a long way before it actually hits. Right? Okay. So the next thing that came to my mind was like, wow, actually when I thought about it, this skill is very, very strong against bosses, which is what Flicker Strike is lacking. Right, against bosses, single target, Flicker Strike isn't really the best. Okay, but with this Val Flicker Strike, right, you're gonna have maximum attack speed increase of 80%. Right, I mean, assuming you have 8 frenzy charges, okay, assuming. If you have more, then of course your attack speed is gonna be more. Don't ask me the obvious question, but you're gonna hit 25 times at 80% increased attack speed. that is really, really, really very fast. Okay, that is like equivalent to, I don't know, 2 multi-strike gems. Okay, I can't remember how much does multi-strike gives. Let's just check. We're talking about a normal multi-strike. Okay, so normal multi-strike, it gives 44% more melee attack speed. Okay, look, 44%. We just take it as average of 40% attack speed. Okay, so this is equivalent to 2 multi-strike attack speed increase. That's really very fast. That is like, you're gonna see your Omni Slash that is lagging, but you're gonna hit 25 times. It's very, very fast. The amount of damage that you're gonna dish out in the boss, right, is insane. It's gonna be so fast that you probably don't even see the boss health like slowly going down. It's just gonna go down instantly, one shot. That's why I think that this gem is really very interesting. It's a huge upgrade for Flicker Strike builds. I've always said I wanted to build a Flicker Strike build, but I didn't really have the time. I am busy as well, but I am taking a lot of interest into Flicker Strike this league because of the changes to strike builds as well. Okay, next is fracturing orb and shards. Okay, for those of you that wants to do your endgame crafting by fracturing, it only applies with items that have at least 4 modifiers. So good luck to all of you that wants to fracture items. I do have RNG, that's why not that I have never been in that section before, but I have done it, I've gone through it, and I suck at it. So I am never going there again. I've lost a lot of currency with it, and I'm not going there again. Okay, new divination cards. So here is just one of them, is Divine Beauty. 7x Divine Orb is very delicious, to be honest, but we do not know what is the drop tier. So be sure to check out their teaser every day. It's over here. I have linked for you. They will start releasing new divination cards. Okay, for now it's only this. Atlas changes. Okay, so now Maven Witness map boss drops awakened gems. This has been said before. So what I'm thinking is you might actually get awakened gems even while completing your Atlas, like the quest, right? And I think this can be a new farming strategy, instead of always going for our Eldritch Altars, because that's the most rewarding one. Okay, next will be the good maps that have been added to the pool. Okay, Barrel Chamber for Headhunter, Channel for the early game Tabula Rasa card. I think it's still there, it's not taken away. City Square is just for altar farming, if those of you want to focus on minion options. Okay, Toxic Silver is just very linear and easy to run. Right, you just go to one direction, go all the way, see the spider, kill it, turn the other way, and then you'll be at your exit and you just complete the map. Very simple and easy. And good maps that have been removed from the pool, I'm not sure if there's more, but those that I know is Park, Summit, and Race Pool. Okay, good divination cards that now can be found on new maps. Okay, now you can find curse in carcass maps. So if you're lucky when you're going through your map progression, you might be lucky to get one. Okay, but if I remember correctly, the map is bad. It's bad in the sense that there is a lot of direction to go, and it's not, you will not fully utilize all of the whole map area. In a sense, you might miss out some areas and you will not clear the map very nicely. Okay, Mad King is now in Caldera, Colosseum, Dark Forest, and Rift map, and they have changed this. Last time it gives you a prophecy, so they have changed this card to now give an ultimatum aspect. Okay, I think it's one of the, if I remember correctly, it's one of the parts to combine to actually go to ultimatum and fight the boss. And if I remember correctly again, there are 2 of the fragments that are very, very, very expensive. Like it costs, I don't know, 3 divine or 4 divine or something like that, or one even cost 10 divine. Yeah, I remember it was very expensive. So if you actually get this, then it might be a valuable card. Okay, I wouldn't say it will give you tons of money, but at least it's worth something. Okay, and our best section, okay, monster mods and arch nemesis. There is a manifesto mentioned previously, so you can refer to this thread. In short, Arch Nemesis has been removed. Monster mods only do one thing, and they can have multiple monster mods as usual. Okay, I am really very happy about this. Please just go away, Arch Nemesis. Never come back. I'm sorry to GG's team or whatever for putting so much effort on Arch Nemesis previously. I think they really did a good job because it's not easy to come up with all this. Like, you can imagine all of the mods, they all do different things, that there are subsections inside, and this takes a lot of effort. Okay, it's really cool, it's very interesting, but it just impact the game so much that people are crying. Okay, yeah, that's just basically just it. I think everybody is very happy that this has been removed, and more or less I will say this has been changed. Right. Next we have Eldritch Altars. Okay, there are a lot of changes to it. So there's a manifesto on it previously. I'll just go through a quick one. Reward types in Altars has been removed, such as duplicate gems, influence items, unique items, gems, and maps. It's good because all of these are actually useless, but maps is kind of important. Alright, I don't know how they came about the decision to remove it, but this is one of the reasons why my map sustain is really good. So rip map sustain again, I guess. Next is reward type basic currencies now shows specifically what it will give. Okay, so example, map bosses drops 3 Var Orbs. Now, imagine if you get a reward type that shows Eldritch Monster at 0.5% chance to drop a Divination Orb. Okay, I'm just joking, alright. This I think, I'm not sure if this is real, but I think it will never happen. I'm sorry, but I think it will never happen, because if it does happen, then it's very broken. The economy scale is going to fluctuate pretty much badly again. Okay, low tier currencies are removed from currency pool of rewards. More useless things removed. Good, that's good. Scarab and Divination cards are split exclusively to altar types, which means the Scarabs will either be Eater of War or Searing Exarch, and Divination will be vice versa, the other side. Okay, so, well, obviously for people that wants to make currency, okay, you just have to go for the ones that have Scarabs, and those that wants excitement, you can go for those that has Divination cards. Why I spell wrongly. Okay, I just realized, give me a minute. So Divination cards. Okay, but that being said, right, yeah, with that being said, right, I think many players are just going to go for the Scarabs one. We still do not know which is which. I think if it has not been shown, unless I miss it out. But it means, right, if everybody's going to go for the Scarab side, the Eldritch currency is going to be very one-sided again. Let's just say if Scarabs is Eater of War, okay? Which means the Eater of War currency is going to be flooded and is going to go downhill in terms of how much it's worth. And the Searing Exarch currency is going to skyrocket because nobody is doing it. Okay? So it's not going to really balance out as well. But nonetheless, people will still go with the Scarabs because self-sustaining map is kind of a luxury for most people. You don't want to keep trading stuff, it's annoying. Okay, Scarab reward types are much less common now. To compensate, my bad. But to compensate, Rusted Scarabs have been added to the core drop pool, and you can sell 3 of the same kind to upgrade your Scarab tier. Now this is really, really very big. Okay, and like I mentioned previously, this is only provided if the drop rate for the Rusted Scarabs is decent. Okay, don't tell me I have to run 5 maps and I only see 1 Rusted Scarabs. I can just tell you, like, don't waste my time. This is not good. This is actually a nerf. In that case, this is actually a nerf. Okay, so if the drop rate is decent, right, you no longer have to keep trading in TFT for Scarabs or keep finding Scarabs to run your maps with more contents. And this is the good part of it, and the bad part of it is we might actually see Scarab drop price very drastically because everybody's getting it. There will be tons of it. It's flooded in the market, right? So if everybody wants to sell the Scarabs, then the amount of Scarabs that will be available in the market is going to be so flooded that people are going to contest or compete with the price in it, right? Economics lessons. Okay, so yeah, like Chris Wilson say, that there's a lot of economics lessons in this patch. Okay, next boss reward types have been buffed is No, basically it gives more rewards than minion type rewards, okay? So to me, this is a very complicated situation. Like, yes, it can be buffed maybe times 3, times 4 the amount, or even more, right? But if the reward is still useless, then it's still shit. If it's gonna give me stuff like 10 Val Orbs, guys, 10 Val Orbs, okay, it's still bad. It's still bad. 15 Val Orbs. What else is inside that is not useful? Blast Orbs. Like, it's good, it's a one-time good thing, but if I'm going to keep seeing it, then it's bad. Okay, so it's kind of situational over here. We have to see how. Wrath of Cosmos Keystone is reworked. Saving Exarch Altars now have 50% chance of additional upside and 100% increase effect of downsides. So I guess previously this was too broken in a sense. You can just die as many times. Okay, not as many times, but maximum of 6 times, right? And it doesn't matter you die or not, because your map is going to be so juicily dropped with all the grand tier currencies. Every pack of monsters you can get like 4 to 6, and that's a lot. Okay. Another one is Wrath of Cosmos Keystone only affects Searing Exarch influence maps, and Eldritch Gaze Keystone only affects Ether or World influence maps, which means you can only take one side of it. Now, this is not good for us. It's actually a nerf, but I think this is a reasonable change because it looks more appropriate. Like, Wrath of Cosmos is meant to be for Searing Exarch, and Eldritch Gaze is more for Ether or World. So they should be meant for each other instead of exploiting to combine two to stack the effects and get the best out of it. Okay, this is what I think it should be. I think it's a good change and it's a reasonable change. Okay, next up will be the Atlas skill tree. So they have added new clusters for specific league contents like I don't know, Breach, maybe Harbinger or Legion. Okay, I'm not sure. We have to wait for PoE Planner to update to have a better look. Adding more chances to encounter those league content also, and they have added a new keystone that causes Scarab to increase pack size rather than their usual modifier. This is what has been shown. I think this again is a very big factor, okay? Because if Rusted Scarab's drop rate is decent, which means we're gonna have a huge amount, this is gonna be game changing. If you're gonna play a farming strategy, let's say like Grand Design, okay, all the useless Scarabs is going to add to pack size, and this is gonna affect a lot. This is going to be huge. Like, I'm just going to play Grand Design the whole entire game. It's going to be so easy. Okay. Next so now on to Jewel and Ailment mitigation. Jewels that affect golems can no longer drop, so they can be found another source. And yeah, just RIP to golem users. Good luck in treasure hunting this thing. So next is the unique jewels are still available. Inspired Learning, Intuitive Leap, Lion's Eye 4, blah blah blah. My question is, what happened to Thread of Hope? Okay, this is a jewel that has been very commonly used by a lot of builds, right? So what happened to it? I really don't know, okay? I'm not sure if they only mentioned this is in the core drop pool and then maybe Thread of Hope can be found somewhere else. I'm not sure. Next is the following unique jewels can only be obtained from corruption. So these are the ones that are being used in my builds only. Energy from Within, Fortress Covenant, and Quickening Covenant. Okay, so more problems to solve for my builds. This is the worst. Replica jewels are all removed except for Replica Primordial Might and Replica Reckless Defense. I have no idea why, but at this point it feels like they are secretly nerfing COC already. Okay, goodbye Replica Conqueror Efficiency. And I have really no idea what's the point of keeping these two replica jewels. It makes no sense, okay, because there is almost little to nobody that's using the jewel, and they say they're going to make it interesting. They're going to make it so that these jewels are worthwhile. But if nobody or little people are using it, then why are you keeping it? Right? So I have no idea. Remove unique jewels given in the Storyline X. So just goodbye Conqueror's Efficiency and Potency. Those were the jewels that was quite helpful in the early games. When you start a new league, it's actually really very good. Okay. Next is Curse. So hex penalties against bigger targets such as Pinnacle bosses, map bosses are no longer in place. What this means is all monsters have no penalty now. Okay, this is a very big change, extremely big change. Which means it's so much easier to do bosses now, especially your uber bosses or don't know what kind of tier bosses. with high budget builds, right? When I say high budget builds, I mean like 50 divine orbs, that kind. You can probably complete the whole entire content now with ease. Okay, because if there's no penalties, then this negative to their resistance is gonna be huge. When it's gonna be huge, it's very painful for them. The amount of damage that they absorb is now going to be way higher. Okay. Next, Whispers of the Doom passive node section now has a bigger selection of nodes. I'm not sure if I still need this anymore. If the changes to Arch Nemesis is gone, the boss penalties is removed, I don't think we need this anymore. Okay. Nerf to Hexarch. Yes, this is the one I'm talking about. So now it has 35% less effect of supported curses at all levels. The quality now increase, duration increase instead of increase effect. This is the same for Awakened Hexarch. Yeah, when I read this, I was like, yeah, suddenly the new curse support seems better because there's no downside to it. Unless there's something else, I don't know. If anybody can enlighten me, please let me know, please. Okay, next is curse on hit modifiers on rings now only have a single tier, which means it will only be a level 1 effect. Okay, rip to all the curse on hit rings. I don't think anybody will use it now. Level 1. Who will use the level 1? Okay. Nerf to elemental weakness. Curse enemies now have -% resist at level 1 and 30% at level 20. Okay, quality has also changed to increase effect instead of the negative flat percentage decrease. So I also felt that this is no longer needed because they have already changed the monsters modifier, so you really don't need to go so extreme to have double curses now. It's good to have, but not necessary. Okay, next is nerf to frostbite. Okay, curse enemies now have -17 cold resist at level 1 and -36%. Okay, this is still very, very good considering the changes to penalties to bosses. But yeah, then again, if you can have more, maybe we have the double curse, then it's even better. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. We have to see how. Occultist Ascendancy curse nodes are reworked. So Malediction now has, you can apply additional curse, your hexes can affect hexproof enemies, and Profane Bloom now only has the explosion. I will say this is not the worst, but BV early game still has to take the Profane Bloom for easy clear. Okay, if you don't have the Profane Bloom, which I tested in the previous league, which is this league, the League of Kalandra, I think it's really bad. Okay, and this is actually good for those COC players that use Occultist, because you will go for Malediction, and you have 2 curse, and you can actually pierce through hexproof enemies now. So it's pretty good. Okay, next is the nerf to vulnerability. I think this is only for those physical attack minion users, Karen Golems basically. There is lesser increased intake of physical damage now. Okay, it's very simple and upfront. Okay, next one is this strike skills and addition enemies. So this is not part of my build, but I want to emphasize on it because I think it's really good. Tribal Fury passive in skill 3 has been changed to melee strike skills deal splash damage instead of the additional 1 hit. It now deal melee splash damage. Now this is legitly very, very good because if the numbers on this, right, is actually same to the melee splash support skill gem, which means this is a super big major upgrade to all the melee skills. Everybody's definitely going to take this, for sure. No regrets, no regrets, whatever. Okay, and then the attack mastery, that provides strike skills can do so 30% further away. It's been changed to, have been changed to strike skills target 1 additional enemy. That's even better. You get splash plus additional 1. So if there's 2, you splash both at the same time. That's nuts. Right, I really see a lot of potential in Flicker Strike. I am really shifting my attention to Flicker Strike, but I guess I'll just stick to something that I'm comfortable with first. Okay, Factoring Orb again. I don't know why they put this again, but I'm just writing down. They introduced Factoring Orb and Shards, and they mentioned that Harbingers are not so rewarding to farm now because they only have exalted Orbs and Shards, which is not good. So I assume that the new Factoring Orbs and Shards are going to be part of the drops from Harbinger. Otherwise, I have no idea why they mention it. So maybe Harbinger might be a good thing to farm now. And this is the rest of the Kirat mod. Okay, this is the rest of the Kirat map mod. 2C for Anarchy. I don't think anybody's going to touch it. 3C for Domination. This is going to be the most touched one. 4C for Breach. I think for those of you that like Breach, then maybe you can consider. Otherwise, domination all the way. 5C, beyond. This is the best for endgame farming strategy, definitely. No questions asked. This is the best. Okay, 6C, there's three harbinger. So it really depends on how much the fracture orbs are worth and what is their drop rate. Okay, and 10C is for delirium, too expensive. 13C is for ritual, also very expensive. I think this is expensive, I think, okay? But if the compass is going to worth like 40C, then just click this, man. Right, so yes, that's it for my TLDR. I can foresee that this is going to be a really good league. In the next week, I am going to update all of my builds as much as I can, so be sure to check out my build guides. Right, I'm going to emphasize on COC first because I think more or less I'm still going to play it. It's very flexible and I think this league is going to be good, so I'm just going to go all out with one of my best builds I've actually created. Right, back to COC gaming. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Okay, that comes to the end of this video. So if you have any questions, do join the Discord and I will try to answer your questions. And if you like my video, do remember to hit the like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Bye.